It's January, and that means some Oklahomans may be starting to work on or think about working on their tax returns already. Here to tell us about some things you need to know if you're filing your 2022 tax returns, Kaitlin Flinn, who's a CPA and partner at CCK Strategies here in Tulsa. Good morning, Kaitlin.
Good morning.
Congratulations on making partner. Last time we talked, you hadn't done that, so congrats.
Thank you.
Let's start off with a big news item that's come up about PayPal and Venmo and how a lot of people make income and pay each other nowadays. There was talk about raising the threshold. Let's just cut all that. What is the word now about what we have to do if we use PayPal and Venmo in our lives?
Sure. So the rule about when you pick up income has not changed. It's more about the government tracking how much income you're getting through those platforms. So for example, the threshold right now for them to issue that statement is about $20,000 if you got under $20,000 and had 200 or more transactions. Well, looking forward, luckily the IRS was supposed to go into effect in 2022. They said, we're going to give you a year to adjust. So in 2023, they're now looking at the $600 threshold or less.
Okay.
Like you mentioned, a lot of people are just paying their friends back for dinner. They're getting reimbursements for trips. I had that just recently.
Right.
And so if you get one of those statements, you need to look at it. Don't just automatically assume that all of that was your income, because some of that could be included in reimbursement for friends.
Which does not count. That is not income by the IRS.
Income. That's not taxable. But if it is business income that you are just using Venmo, PayPal, Etsy, any of those platforms to receive business income, then you should report that on your taxes.
And you have to keep track
And you
of
have
all
to
of that.
keep track of it. And it's even more important to keep your own set of books, because you don't want to rely on a government statement, because it could, it could include other things that aren't actual business income.
Right. So even if you make less than $20,000 a year in Venmo transactions, you still recommend tracking for folks?
Yes, because income is income. So if you are, let's say you're doing making art prints, and you go to the local farmer's market and you're selling them, well, that is a business. So even if you made $15,000 off of that, you should still report that as income.
What's the advantage of filing our taxes now? As I know some of these returns, like I'm not gonna, people aren't gonna get their money for another month from the IRS. Right. What's the advantage of starting to file now?
Sure. So there's a couple of reasons why you might want to. If you use a software like TurboTax or some of the other really popular ones out there, they often increase their fee the closer that you get to the deadline. And so you might save a little bit of money in order to file your taxes. And even though refunds may not be issued for a month out, the sooner you file, the sooner you will get your refund, because everyone gets in line the closer we get to the deadline. So refunds get pushed out even farther than we would normally see.
And, potential identity theft, just get those in so someone can't file them fraudulently for you.
Exactly.
If someone's like me out there and I'm like, okay, I just want to do my taxes myself. I want to do this every year. I'm going to use, X software company. What's the advantages of doing it yourself versus having someone do it for you, do your taxes for you?
Sure. So, the tax law is extremely complicated and it changes every year. And so having someone who knows a little bit about what you should even be collecting in order to file your taxes, making sure you don't miss anything. And I don't mean just income reporting, but really what benefits could you get, what expenses you could write off, what credits are you eligible for. Having someone that's knowledgeable, like a CPA, is someone who's going to watch out for you and make sure you've done everything right and gotten the best answer you can. When you do it yourself, I know the softwares are great right now, and so while they are very helpful, they're also making sure that you answer a million questions that aren't relevant to you. That can be a bit frustrating, because It takes you a lot of time to go through.
I am interested about railroad dividends, but I like never know what to do with that. So
Right.
yeah, right. Okay, and then the last thing, if folks may be out there, just overall, you'd recommend taking taxes to a person then is what I'm picking up if you're going to do your taxes this year, generally?
Generally, unless you are just a W-2 employee. If you only receive that W-2 because you have a wage, it's pretty straightforward. So you could do that yourself if you want to. Otherwise, if you have your own business, sometimes even if you have a home or rental properties, it gets more and more complicated the more investments you have. So those are the people I'd consider going to a CPA.
Well, Kaitlin Flinn with CCK, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
A special event is happening this morning at the Center for Individuals with Physical Challenges. We're live as a powerlifting clinic begins there this morning. A group of high schoolers make a life-changing gift for a fellow student, how they were able to lend a helping hand.